Sorry, I'm dressed like a little bit of a hippie. This is what happens when you take a remote employee and find them on their fourth day of a professional conference. These are also the hands women have developed from you not giving us pockets for the past however many decades. That's it, that's the talk. No, I'm just kidding. No, so for the purpose of my unsolicited response, I'm going to dox my age, which is something that I know ladies do not often do in, mixed company. Thank you to whoever shouted 23. I will buy you a free drink later. So I am 34. I turned 35 here pretty quickly, here in May, and that is relevant because I want to make the point that, at least comparatively, I don't think I'm that old. And in 2004, when I was in high school, I was supposed to be taking home ec. And the school said specifically that my dad, not my mom, had to sign a form that I was allowed to opt into the computer science class instead of home ec because I was a chick. So this was not that long ago, just for anyone who thinks that things like this are a way bygone era. They are not. A few years later, I went to interview for Oak Ridge National Lab and was interviewing with Mark Buckner, who was their former power systems group lead. And he pulled me aside and he said, "I think you're great. Job's yours if you want it. You will be the only woman on this group. And I just want to make sure you're okay with that." And so that was the position I was in when I got this email from this person on Twitter that I didn't know named Dale Peterson. And he said, "I run this conference called S4, and we're always looking for new voices. And I'd really love if you think you have work that would be interesting to the community for you to submit." And I took it to my leadership, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy? I don't know who this is," right? Because I was super new to industry at that point, and ended up submitting and got my talk accepted. That was my first major conference talk. And that was the first time that I, in my professional career as a cybersecurity analyst, had been exposed to more than a single digits number of women in a conference bathroom. And so I make these points, right? So last night, some of you may know, we had our, I think, third women's dinner at S4 that, huge shout out to Emma Stewart, who I think is in the green room, did an amazing job really putting the legwork in on. And we had 87 women who signed up for it, and then I think we had another 10 who just sort of showed up and said, like, "I didn't sign up, can I pretty please come in?" And Dale was really kind enough to come and say a few words at that, and it was so interesting to all of us hearing him talk about, when was the first S4, Dale? Yeah, 2007, and there were how many women at it? 2? Yeah. And so I know that, we won't get into politics. I know that things are a little weird right now. And I just want to really encourage anyone who is feeling a little wonky about it, that I think this conference specifically is an incredibly encouraging space for folks who are new, looking to get into the industry, who may have, different backgrounds than, your traditional, Chris Sistrunk resume, right? To really come and share ideas and get involved. They did 10 scholarships this year for young ladies to attend S4, and we got to meet all of them at the women's dinner, yeah. And after having a chance to chat with those ladies, I have zero doubt that all of them will really be contributing amazing work to this community over the next, hopefully, decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, when we are all old. And I just really, really want to thank Dale for supporting women before it was cool and then not cool again, because it does make it does make such a difference, right? We need all the help that we can get, and that comes in all different, shapes, backgrounds, degrees, and so just wanted my unsolicited response as a raised, now like maybe 8th full glass to Dale for all that he does for this space.